Hey y'all, so I want to hear if you had fun this D Now weekend, if you enjoyed celebrating Jesus, I want to hear you shout. Woo! Yes. Guys, it's been amazing. My name is Atang. I'm a spoken word artist. I like to say I do spoken word for the living word. Also a student at Liberty University. I'm in my last year, so it's been an incredible blessing being able to worship with you guys and just see students' lives transform, leaders' lives transformed by Jesus. So I've been sharing poetry this entire weekend, so I'm going to share one last piece with you guys, just a little get to know me, and it's about my testimony. Algebra never did much for me until I found out that my ex could be a permanent solution to all my problems. Chemistry taught me of toxic liquids, but not toxic people. Yet when you click with someone, they say y'all have great chemistry, and that doesn't quite add up. Health class taught me that sleeping with someone requires consent, but didn't teach that it should require commitment, or that saying yes meant connections that could only be broken by repentance. No wonder I found it hard to get over my ex. Now I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. My teenage years were rough. My biggest bully was self-hatred, constantly whispering that I was good, but would never be good enough. Every year growing older, but never growing wiser. Wondering, why is her body so much better than mine? Insecurities covered my face like blemishes. And instead of washing myself in the word, I went for the next best thing. Makeup. To make up for the features that I lacked. I put more effort toward my outfits than I did for my academic outcomes. I knew that keeping up my image was expensive, yet the only thing that I couldn't afford was to be embarrassed. So I paid for a lifestyle that never quite fit me in the first place, but I had something to prove. Now, some might call those years spent finding myself. Well, I call it losing my identity. There was no need to experiment with experience when Jesus was the best teacher, but I saw my relationship with him as the teacher the same way I saw my grades. Anything below a 4.0 meant that I would not make heaven's honor roll. Apparently, I was not cut out for the kingdom, so eventually I would get cut out from the kingdom. If I took an AP test on biblical knowledge, I would probably get a 1, just for putting my name on it. Trials and tribulations were the midterms I never studied for, so the fact that I failed each time I was tested spoke to me more than his voice of encouragement. There was no way I would ever be prepared for a final exam testing where I stand with my faith. And even if it was open book, I wouldn't know where to look because the Bible was the class I procrastinated in the most, yet the only class in life that I actually needed to pass. And my attendance was slim to none. Because even when I was present reading the text, I was always absent-minded, but maybe I should have taken more notes. Maybe I should have studied harder. Maybe then I could be a better Christian. Maybe then I could actually exercise wisdom and build the stamina needed to run from temptation, but instead, I always ran out of breath in the face of death because spiritually, I was out of shape, and my eating habits were atrocious. Constantly consuming junk food through the shows I watched or the music I listened to or the boys I entertained. Had I checked their expiration dates, I would have known that these products, though appealing to my appetite on the outside, were predestined to poison my spirit on the inside, and that's when I had to reflect on my life. Sin was sweet, and I soon became a diabetic. Late-night cravings for lust were the genesis of addictions that I thought were only exclusive to men, but like Eve, I was naive, and all she took was one bite, and all I clicked was one website. Little did I know that these were the very ingredients for a 10-year downward spiral of sin. But why me? Why did I have to struggle so silently? Why did I believe that God gave his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers when all I ever felt was weak? I lost sight of an identity that I never even found in the first place, but where was Jesus when I needed him? Ask and you shall receive. Well, I'm here asking. Seek and you will find. Well, I've been searching. Knock and the door will be opened. Yeah, well, it doesn't seem like anyone is home. But in a moment, when it felt like faith and hope were fictitious words spun through old wives' tales, Jesus called me out of my tomb. untied me from the cloths used to signify my spiritual death, and breathed new life into my Lazarus lungs, black and burnt from years of inhaling the enemy's lies, while I lied there paralyzed by the fear of failing God again. And it didn't make sense that in a world where everyone is skilled at inconsistency, you are truly who you say you are. And you have every right to discard me, and yet you still choose to call me your own.